Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 Ifbb Pro League Hungary Kokeny Pro Bikini and Figure results. These women looked amazing, super impressive, great silhouettes. This was a really fabulous show. And in terms of Olympia, last year's top three are automatically qualified. And then the winner of this show, because it's in the qualification period, it's an open competition, the winner's going to also qualify for the 2024 Olympia. So let's start with Pro Bikini. In first place was Francesca, second Lisa, third Roberta, fourth Anna, and fifth Laura. And if you look at the numbers, it was very balanced and even with the judging. Okay, so here's Laura in fifth. Beautiful. She's got a great shape. I really like that S curve in her back. Beautiful size of the lat in proportion with the glute. And I also really noticed how high her glutes are. She has a really nice roundness way up at the top. Beautiful shape. I think she's got good conditioning, so you see this nice amount of detail outlining the quad, that nice line here showing off the hamstring. Her back leg has just a little bit of detail coming through on the back, which I think looks really good. You can see her abs have a beautiful oblique, a nice flatness to her midsection with a bit of detail coming through in the abs themselves. Her arms look lovely. I love how she's posing in a way that really maintains the roundness of her back shoulder. That's something that I noticed on a few of the other competitors that they're not doing. So I think Laura's doing a great job of really showing us the beautiful curve of her delt. Her posing looks really good. I think her tan looks lovely as well. It's a nice color. And overall, she looks really beautiful. I love the red suit with that lipstick. It's beautifully coordinated. Her hair is off her shoulders. She's doing a fabulous job. My only suggestion, and this is really minor, is I would try to relax this arm a little bit more. To me, it's quite outward and it's quite high. I think if she could just let the arm kind of fall a little bit, not to the point of obstructing the glute, of course, but just to have a little bit more of a gentler lengthening of the arm rather than to the side, because right now my eye is actually being drawn out to her hand rather than just flowing across her back, and I want to notice the hourglass shape and not width from hand to elbow. That's what my eye is being drawn to, is like this area right here to here. So that's my only suggestion. I think she looks really fabulous, and this is a tremendous fifth place. Okay, next in fourth is Anna in a beautiful deep turquoise suit. I love it with the blonde hair. She looks beautiful. And she is a muscular lady. Her legs are very big. Great development in the hamstrings in particular. She's got super big glutes too. You really notice it in the back pose. So she's tall, she's muscular, she's dense, very well developed. I think she looks fabulous. She's got nice conditioning, particularly outlining the glute here. I think this groove looks so good. Nice detail into the hamstring, a little bit of detail coming through in the back leg. Super nice small waistline. I think she's posing well, keeping her body quite sideways. It shows off how small her waist is, and you have a nice look at her very beautifully rounded delts on this front arm. However, I feel like we're kind of losing her back shoulder. I don't know whether it's the placement of this hand or if maybe it's being so sideways, but I want to be able to see more of the roundness and curve of the delt to match this side so that I see more of that symmetrical look. Right now, this delt to me is so beautiful and full and round and curvy, and then this one is just not. It's just more small. It's more just a gentle slope. I love how round and full this one is. The other thing I thought is her foot placement. Maybe she could play with that a little bit more, like to bring this foot more forward. Part of me feels like she could do a little bit more roundness on the top of her quad here. I love how round and curvy the hamstring is, but the top of her leg looks a little straight. So I don't know if that's something that is possible. Maybe it isn't. But I noticed some of the other girls have their feet a little bit more like in a straight line, whereas it almost seems like this foot is behind that one. Maybe I'm crazy. Comment below if you think I'm nuts, but I think she looks really amazing. She's clearly very muscular, beautiful tiny midsection, and her conditioning looks gorgeous. All right, next in third place is Roberta. Okay, so she's doing what I meant about the feet being a little bit more like in a line, not with this foot behind. And I think somehow that's doing a really nice job of showing the curves of the leg. She also is standing really well to show off that size and curve of the glute. So her foot is really forward facing rather than sideways. It gives a nice look at her quad, her super bubbly, curvy, round hamstring. And man, that glute is amazing. Really round, really full, just absolutely gorgeous. I think her midsection looks beautiful as well. Really nice oblique, nice flat stomach, nice fullness and size to the lats. I actually think that her back delt looks a little more rounded than this front delt. She clearly has some beautiful size in the shoulders, but it's almost like a squaring off of the shape. And maybe if she played around with the elbow and the way her wrist is, maybe she could find a way to maintain a bit more curve. I feel like the back delt has more of that curvy roundness than the front delt. Also, I was wondering if the tan, it's a beautiful color, particularly here on her leg, but it looks a little lighter on the top. It's possible it's just the photo, and in real life it was completely perfect, but it's something that my eye is recognizing in this picture. But I love her curly hair. I love that the hair is off of her shoulders, so you see her upper body. You have a really nice view of her silhouette. But most of all, I am super impressed by this round, full, very curvy, beautiful leg and glute. All right, next in second place is Lisa. Gorgeous as ever in her red suit with that stunning lip. I love the bold color. It is perfect. It's so eye-catching. Her hair is beautiful as well. I love that big flip that she has on top. It's just stunning. She's posing really nicely to show off the tininess of her waist, that nice fullness and curve to the top of the glute. She's got some good balance between the size of her lats and delts and the size of the glute. But again, I've mentioned this before on another athlete, I feel like we're kind of losing her back shoulder. She clearly has some nice size, beautiful roundness, beautiful curve, nice outline, but this back shoulder is just looking a lot more straight. So perhaps playing with the wrist, the elbow, how high she's placing her hand, just to try to maintain more of that curvy shape. I think what that would do would be to create more of a width to her upper body, even just the illusion of it with more size and roundness here, and then she'd look like an even more exaggerated hourglass shape. I love the placement of her feet. I think it's very flattering to her leg. She's got a nice curve to the quad sweep. Her definition looks really good. You've got the groove in her leg. You've got the little bit of detail by the kneecap. I do think, though, that she could have had more gloss and kind of a pop and shine to the tan, like a little bit more of that highlight on the delts, maybe on the oblique, a little bit more sheen and glistening on the quads. You can see it here on the glute and it looks really good. So I find her color to be very, I almost want to say flat. Like I'm not seeing little areas of that glittery, shiny glossiness. So that's something that I would add a bit more of in just a few particular areas to really draw your eye to her beautiful round muscles. And otherwise, I think she looks stunning. Okay, and now in first place is Francesca. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the color of her suit. It looks so good with everything, with her skin tone, with her hair, with the backdrop. It's a gorgeous color. Of course, turquoise, I love it. She's got an amazing physique. I particularly love her shoulders, really round, really full, gorgeous muscle size in her arms as well. The detail that she's getting with the definition in the little bottom part of the delt here looks gorgeous. I think she's got a particularly full and large lat, and her lats seem to go like right to her hip. It just goes delt to lat to glute. There is no waist. The waist is non-existent. It's absolutely tiny, perfect definition into her abs and obliques. Beautiful. I would prefer if the hair was to the back so that we could see the silhouette without these straight lines coming over top. But, you know, it's just a photo. She could have moved it a moment later. I love her glute shape. I think she has to be careful that the arm is not covering up the glute. Nice curves to the legs, not as large and muscular as perhaps some of the other girls in this lineup, but it's overall a really beautiful flow to her physique. She doesn't have a lot of definition coming through in the legs, but you can see she's very lean. Her stomach is flat, nice detail in the abs. The delts have good outlining, and just a little bit of definition down by the kneecap. So I think she looks really stunning. Beautiful posing, gorgeous. Okay, so I've made a mashup of two separate photos so that you can see everyone side by side. I'm really impressed by Anna and just how muscular her legs are. She's got great conditioning. This line looks so good. Lisa, her tan, I think, could have been a bit darker. She looks a bit pale compared to the two on either side. A little bit more width into the shoulders, I think, would really help to highlight the hourglass. Roberta, her tan looks beautiful. The leg in particular is a great color, really nice definition in her midsection, good width to her shoulders. Laura, I love this back shoulder. She's really posing beautifully in this photo to show off those beautiful curves. But again, I'm not crazy about the arm being so far out to the side. Francesca, to me, you really notice that triangular shape of the width of her upper body coming down into the narrowness of her waist. And I think her posing looks really pretty. It's very natural, very flowy. Her arm is just gently falling by her side. She just looks really beautiful. And then from behind, just note here, the girls are not in the exact same position as they were in the last photo. You can see Francesca looks really good. Her tan is a nice color. Her waistline looks super tiny and a really nice width in the shoulders. So you definitely notice that upside down triangle shape in the back. I think her glutes look really good too. They've got a lot of width, particularly in the top, and then nice detail coming into the glute ham tie-ins. Anna, beside her, crazy size, really nice fullness and roundness and beautiful size into her legs. I think her back pose looks really awesome, though I would perhaps bring the feet a little bit closer. It seems quite wide on the bottom compared to the shoulders. Laura, gorgeous detail coming down into the back of her glute ham tie-ins. She's got some nice shoulders from behind as well. Lisa, very nice narrow waist, beautiful definition into the glute ham tie-ins, but maybe not quite as sharp and easy to see as Francesca beside her. Roberta, I think she's got some great glutes, beautiful legs, but I think the hair might be a little too much. It's obstructing a bit of the back of her delts, so maybe she could do more of a triangular shape just so that we get a little bit more skin showing on the top of the shoulders. So in terms of Olympia, there she is, qualified for 2024. Now moving on to Pro Women's Figure, a smaller lineup. In first place, Rejoice. Second, Nina. Third, Carolina. And fourth, Chantal. And again, very even with the scoring. So here's Chantal in fourth place, and she has an extremely impressive V-taper. I really like the fullness in her delts and her lats, and just how beautiful the line is down to the top of her suit. Her suit fits nice and high, so you just really notice that V shape. I think she has really nice legs too, perfectly rounded quad sweep, really full. Some nice definition coming through, but I do think at the end of the day, her conditioning could have been sharper. So more of that really clear, visible six-pack definition, maybe a little feathering or just a little bit more of that dry, hard, really ripped look in the legs, and even a bit more outline to the delt. So just a bit more sharpness into the lines for her details, but I think her shape and her size is beautiful and she looks really fabulous. And I also love that her hair is up. I think it looks great. It allows you to see her delts so clearly. Okay, next is Carolina in third place. I didn't have a front pose, so I actually went onto her Instagram to try to show you a little bit more of a square look. You can see she's got some great size in her quads, really beautiful sweep here, great curve and size to her glute as well. Some nice detail. I think her definition looks really good. The whole delt is outlined. She's vascular. She's got lines in her legs. Her obliques are really chiseled and carved out. Some six-pack abs coming through. She looks really good. Beautiful suit. It's very interesting. Lots of curvy lines. Very eye-catching. It probably sparkled really beautifully on stage. I do think though that her V-taper could be more exaggerated. So, you know, to have a bit more of a narrowing in of the waistline and more of that really big full lat. Also, potentially, if the straps of her suit bottom came up a bit higher, that might help your eye to notice the V shape a little bit more. So that's all. I think she looked really good, great size, just a little bit more V taper. Next and second is Nina. Wow, okay, super tiny midsection. Her waist is so small. She's got great definition in her abs, beautiful detail coming through into the quads as well. You're seeing some nice lines, very sharp. Great V-taper. Her suit is really flattering, great colors. Her hair is kind of complementing the colors in the suit. Very cool. Love the delts. I think like overall her silhouette is really beautiful. I think though that just next to the other girls in the lineup, she needs more size, more sweep, more lat, just to really look full and big and muscular in the lineup. I also felt from a symmetry perspective, maybe it's just a slight angle of where we are in terms of the photographer, but this leg, the sweep, almost seems bigger than the one on this leg. So maybe it's just the photo, or maybe it's just a tiny bit of an angle. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure that she does everything she can, even if it's just a little bit of a turnout of 1 foot or both feet, to make sure that that sweep is really balanced and symmetrical from left to right. But I think her conditioning looks nice. Her waistline is incredible. Just a little bit more size. Okay, here's Rejoice in first place. That's what I'm talking about. She's big, she's muscular, she's round, she's full. The delts are huge, the lats are huge, her legs are massive. But in addition to having all these giant muscles, she's got really good detail coming through. The quads are outlined, her abs have great lines, definition. Her suit fits really nice and high, so that helps to show the V-taper shape. She's got a nice small waistline, maybe not as small as our second place winner, but the suit is very flattering to help you see that gorgeous V-taper with these super round lats. Her lats are really nice and high. Gorgeous, just bubbly, round, boulder shapes here in the upper body. She's posing great. The quad sweep looks fabulous. The color of her suit really pops. You can see she's got coordination with her eyeshadow. The smooth hair, it's very simple. It's off her shoulders. There's no distractions. You just see her beautiful smile and you see those amazing, gigantic delts. So good. I would be careful though, from just a symmetry perspective, it almost looks like this delt is higher up than this one. Maybe it's the angle of the photo, but just something to be mindful of and make sure that we have perfectly even, straight, level shoulders. Okay, so here are the ladies side by side. You can see Chantal has a really great shape. The quad sweep to the upper body, the balance is beautiful and a really nice V-taper. Nina, great detail. Her waistline is so small, the smallest on this stage, but I think you can see, particularly in the legs, she just needs some more size to compare to the other ladies. Carolina, fabulous detail. The conditioning in the legs is insane. But she does need to have a bit more of the V-taper look, and potentially raising up those straps on the suit might help, right? Just to really show off that triangular shape. But then Rejoice totally stands out. She's got the size, she's got the silhouette, the X frame, that fullness and roundness in the legs and the delts in particular, but also crazy amounts of detail coming through. And from behind, I think Rejoice has this easily here. She's got really a lot of size in the glutes, in the inner thigh, in the quad sweep, and massive muscles in her back, and so full. Really, that 3D pop in her back is incredible. Her delts are high. She's got lots of detail. Her waist looks small. No one's really comparing in that fullness. Chantal does, but she doesn't have that same level of detail coming through with the conditioning down into the leg. Like, look at Rejoice's calves. Crazy. Is beautiful. So in terms of Olympia, there she is. So that's it for this recap. I've got one more from last weekend coming your way. And of course, there are a couple more big shows coming up this weekend. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at Turquoise Toffee.